Ever feel like you're dragging even after a full night's sleep?
Yeah.
And that second cup of coffee, yeah, that didn't really do the trick either, did it?
It's that hunt for lasting energy, and it's something so many of us struggle with.
Exactly. So today we're diving deep into the science behind sustained natural energy. We've got some fascinating research that moves past those quick fixes and looks at real long-term solutions.
It's about moving away from thinking of energy as this thing we just top up with sleep and caffeine.
Right.
It's more about understanding how what we eat, how we think, even our daily routines all contribute to this flow of energy. It's a much more holistic view.
I like that. A flow of energy. So this is your guide to truly understanding and tapping into your energy potential. No fads, no gimmicks, just science-backed strategies you can actually use.
Exactly.
And we're going to start right at the beginning. The moment we wake up, our sources really highlight just how crucial those first few moments of the day are.
Yeah, it's amazing how much power those morning rituals hold. You know, what you do in that first hour can really set the tone for the rest of your day.
So instead of reaching for our phones, what should we be doing?
Well, the sources highlight three key habits, and the first one is so simple, but so often overlooked: natural light.
Oh, interesting. So getting some sunlight first thing.
Exactly, and ideally sunlight, because it plays a vital role in resetting your circadian rhythm. That's your body's internal clock, you know, the one that governs your sleep-wake cycle.
Right.
Exposure to that light, especially certain wavelengths of blue-green light, signals to your brain that, hey, it's time to be awake. It helps regulate your energy throughout the entire day.
So it's like a gentle wake-up call for our system instead of that jarring alarm clock and then straight to the blue light of our phone.
Exactly.
Okay, makes sense. What's the second habit?
Hydration. Something we often just don't think about.
Oh, right. Just drinking some water.
Yeah, it seems so basic, right? But even mild dehydration is a major, and I mean major, contributor to fatigue. Our bodies are, what, like 70% water?
Something like that.
So even a small dip in those levels can impact everything. Our thinking, our physical endurance, everything.
Wow. So that glass of water isn't just a good habit. It's like preemptively fighting off tiredness.
Exactly.
Okay. So we've got natural light and hydration. What's the third piece of this morning energy puzzle?
Movement.
Oh, interesting. So working out first thing in the morning.
Not necessarily a full workout. Even just gentle stretching or a short walk can make a huge difference.
How so?
Well, it gets your blood flowing, right? Increases circulation, delivers oxygen to your brain and muscles, wakes up your whole system.
That's like jump-starting your engine.
Exactly. And one of the sources we looked at said that this simple routine could increase your energy by up to 30%, even before breakfast.
30%. That's pretty compelling.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered how we start the day, but what about maintaining those energy levels as the day goes on?
Well, that's where food comes in. But it's not just about eating when you're hungry.
Right.
It's about understanding food as fuel.
I see. So what kind of fuel should we be looking at?
Well, for breakfast specifically, the sources really emphasize combining protein and healthy fats.
Okay, so what, like eggs, nuts, yogurt, that kind of thing?
Exactly, things like that, because these are digested more slowly, leading to a more gradual release of glucose into your bloodstream.
So you avoid that sugar rush and crash.
Precisely, and you feel fuller and more energized for a longer period.
Right. So no more sugary cereals or pastries.
They might give you a quick boost, but then you end up feeling even more drained than before. It's that energy roller coaster we're trying to avoid.
Makes sense. Okay, and I'm guessing hydration plays a role throughout the day, not just in the morning.
Oh, absolutely. It's crucial. You know, one source mentioned that even mild dehydration could reduce your energy levels by as much as 20%.
Wow. So we need to be sipping water consistently.
Exactly. Think of it like your car. It needs the right fuel and enough fluids to run properly.
That's a great analogy. Okay, so we're eating smart, staying hydrated. Now, this next point I found really interesting. The idea that moving actually gives you energy. Even when you're already tired, it seems counterintuitive.
Right. You'd think resting would be the answer.
Exactly. But the research suggests otherwise.
Yeah. Because when you move, you stimulate your circulatory system. More oxygen and nutrients get delivered to your brain and muscles, and that actually makes you feel more energized.
So instead of collapsing on the couch when you hit that afternoon slump.
Get up and move. Even a 5-minute walk can do wonders.
And what about those short bursts of exercise?
Those are great too. Even just 10 minutes can trigger endorphin release, those feel-good hormones.
Right.
And that not only elevates your mood, but also boosts alertness.
I remember reading about breathing exercises too.
Oh yeah, deep breathing. That's a fantastic tool.
How so?
Well, it helps reduce stress and it improves focus, both of which can really impact your energy levels.
So it's like a mental reset button.
Exactly. So the next time you're feeling that wave of fatigue, stand up, stretch, take a few deep breaths, and move around a bit. You'll be surprised how quickly you feel a shift.
It's about breaking that cycle of inactivity.
Precisely.
Okay, so we've talked about mornings, food, movement. Now let's talk about the foundation of it all. Sleep.
Ah, sleep. The bedrock of daytime energy.
It's so crucial, but so many of us struggle with it.
Right, and the sources really emphasize the importance of consistency.
Meaning going to bed and waking up at the same time every day,
Yeah.
even on weekends.
Yes, even on weekends. It's about regulating your body's natural sleep-wake cycle. When you stick to a routine, your body knows what to expect. It makes falling asleep and waking up so much easier.
It's like setting your internal clock.
Exactly.
And one of the biggest disruptors of good sleep is, of course, screen time before bed.
Right, that blue light from our devices, it interferes with melatonin production.
And melatonin is the hormone that tells us it's time for sleep.
Exactly. So when we're exposed to that blue light at night, we're basically telling our brains it's still daytime.
So no wonder we struggle to fall asleep.
It can really mess with your sleep quality.
So powering down those devices is key.
It is. And it's not just about how long we sleep, but the quality of that sleep.
Right. I've heard that deep sleep is crucial.
It is. It's what really recharges us. You could be in bed for 8 hours, but if your sleep is fragmented and shallow, you won't wake up feeling refreshed.
I remember one of the sources mentioned a gratitude practice before bed.
Oh, yes, that's a great one. Writing down 3 things you're grateful for.
How does that help with sleep?
Well, it shifts your focus to the positive, helps reduce stress, and promotes a more peaceful state of mind. And that makes it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep.
Sounds like a great way to end the day. Okay, so we've covered the physical side of energy, but our sources also talk about mental energy.
Right. It's often overlooked, but it's so important.
How so?
Well, if your mind is constantly racing, overloaded, stressed, it drains your physical energy too. They're interconnected.
They are. So how do we protect our mental energy?
Well, one suggestion is to simplify your decisions. You know, those little everyday choices, they add up and contribute to mental fatigue.
So creating routines, streamlining things.
Exactly. And another tip is to feed your mind with positivity. Listening to uplifting music, engaging with motivational content, things like that.
It's like rewiring your brain for a more positive and energetic state.
Exactly. And on the flip side, minimizing negativity is also crucial. Setting boundaries, reducing exposure to stressful environments, things like that.
So it's about being mindful of what we're letting into our mental space.
Precisely. Because it directly impacts our overall energy levels.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from waking up to winding down.
And the key takeaway is this. Sustained energy is not something that just happens to us. It's something we create.
It's about building a collection of healthy habits.
Exactly. And those core strategies are optimizing our mornings, fueling our bodies effectively, incorporating movement, prioritizing sleep, and protecting our mental energy.
And even though it sounds like a lot, these strategies actually work together.
They do. They create this positive feedback loop.
So as you're listening to this, think about 1 or 2 areas where you can make a small change.
Maybe leave your phone outside the bedroom tonight.
Or have a protein-rich breakfast tomorrow.
These small, consistent steps can lead to some big changes in your energy levels.
And that's what it's all about. Creating a more energized and vibrant life.
Exactly.
And that's a wrap for today. Until next time, stay energized.